Hello everyone, we will solve this today's LeetCode problem. It's a string compression 3. It's a LeetCode medium, but it is easy one, right? It's just an implementation question. Let's see what the question is asking. So we have given a string word, compress it using the following algorithm. Begin with an empty string com. While word is not empty, use the following operation. Remove a maximum length prefix of word made of a single character C repeating at most 9 times, right? So basically, we have given empty string, which is named as com. And while word is not empty, we need to do the following operation, right? We have given a word and also a empty string com, right? We need to do some operations. The two operations which is given is first is remove a maximum length prefix of word made of a single character C, repeating at most 9 times, right? So basically, we need to we need to write the number of times the character is present in this word, right? And at most 9 times the number should be present. We need to write at most 9 times, right? At if suppose this a is present greater than 9 times, is present greater than 9 times, then we will write this 9a. And after completing this 9, the number of then we will start again counting from 0, again start from 1, and then number of counts which is 3a or like 4a something, right? I exactly don't know how much I have written here, right? So at most I can write like 9 times a, 4 times 8, like this, right? And the second operation is and append the length of the prefix followed by c to come, right? So basically it's just a uh, just a famous problem, word to say, right? Count to say, right? Count to say problem. It's a just like this, right? It's a and this problem is easier version from it. This question is easier version of count to say problem, right? It's a famous problem, right? Count to say problem, it's a easier version of this. So basically if you see the example abcd, so one time a, one time b, one time c, one time d, one time e. So that's what it is present, right? One time a is present, so we will have written 1a, 1b, 1c, 1d, 1e, right? If you see the second example here in this a type, so if you see in this, there is total 14a, right? So but maximum we can repeat at most 9 times, right? So basically what we will do, we will count till 9a. Then after this 9, the how much the number of a's which is left after this 9, we will count that, and we will write like this, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, right? 9a. And because at most 9 times we can repeat that, after that we will again count 1 2 3 4 5, right? So this is 5a, right? So this is like how we will iterate in this, and we will just count it. And after this there are two b's, so we will just write 2b, right? So this is the final answer string which we get, right? So basically the question is very simple. If you see, the question is very simple, that we will just iterate in a string and just count the repeated characters. What does it mean, repeated characters? That consecutive that characters should be equals, right? consecutive characters consecutive characters and the number of consecutive characters, right? The number of consecutive characters, that's what the count of repeated characters. So suppose it is given like something a b a c a, right? So we will what write, we will write 3a, 1b, 2a, 1c, 2a, right? Like this we will write like this, right? So a is repeated, so that's why we count it to 3. If you tell something like this, that that 3a is present, 2 1b is present, 2a is present, like this you will tell, and that's why it's it's a easier version of count to say problem, right? Okay, so basically this is an easier version. The follow-up question can be follow up question and this question follow up question can be that this this 9 times condition should be removed, can be removed, right? Repeating at most 9 times can be removed. So suppose if there are strings which are greater than this 9 times, then you need to write like 12a, 2b, 224c like that, right? So that's how it can be also called, but this is only 9 times, so it can be easily solved, right? This is a follow-up question that at most 9 times condition can be removed, condition can be removed, right? You should solve this question after that, after this, or you can solve like that, or you can solve any question like this, right? So basically we just need to iterate, we need to just iterate in a string and count repeated characters and store in a string, right? Stored in a string. So it's just like this, right? And how you implement this, it's totally upon you. Anything you implement will have the same time complexity and the space complexity, that's for sure, right? So let's just implement it, right? So first thing is to see the size of word, then we will define a empty string which is an answer. Then what we will do, we will iterate in this word size. Okay, now what we need to see, we need to see the check, we need to check the repeated characters. So I'm sure about that, if any character is present, its count will be always be one, right? Its count will be always be one, right? I'm sure about that. Its count will be always be one. So I've started from one to see, to check that if this word I, if this word I is present, is equals to the previous word I, my previous word, it means I need to just increment the count, right? Because I have already counted the previous one as a one. So if I get the previous one as the same as the current one, I will increment the count, right? Also, also, if the count, if the count is same, and this count should be also less than 9. If the count is same, if the count is less than 9, not equals to 9, less than 9, because at most I need to go through 9 times, right? So if it is less than 9, I will increment it, otherwise I will not increment it. Otherwise what I will do, i will just I will just store in my answer, right? So what I will store, i will just store I will just store to string, to string this count value, right? Because this count is an integer, I need to just convert it to a string, and this is count, right? So that what I will do, just like to string count, and that's what I will just increase it. And also what I need to do, I need to also just push it, I will just also need to add the word to it, right? I need to also add the word into it. Will this, and after that it will just return answer. One thing is to note, this count is incremented, and now I have inserted the characters, right? I have inserted the characters, so I need to update the count to 1 now, right? So what is happening that this is, suppose this is given like a b c c. So I have started from this one part, right? And now I will say, I have checked that previous one is equals to that, so I will increment the count. Till here count is 2. When I go to I is equals to 2, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So when I go to 0, I is equals to 2, the count is still 3, right? Count is 3. And when I go to 3 part, when I go to 3 part, this b is not equals to a, right? So this will goes to here, right? This b will goes to here. So this will be count, and this will be word I minus 1. Why word I minus 1? Because the current word I, the current word I is not equals to, the current word I is not equals to the previous one. So previous one should be inserted in it, right? Previous one should be inserted in, that's why word I minus 1, not word I, right? After that, if you check that after this iteration, the last one which is the c character will not be inserted, because I am inserting the previous character in else condition. So at last I need to insert the previous one, the same like this, to string count plus word and minus 1, this thing, right? Why I have done so? Because this is inserting the last previous character, the previous I minus one. So I need to also add the last character of this word string, right? So if you see this here, this like first a is same as previous a, so count increased. The third a is previous one, so count increased. When we go to b, the b is not equals to a right now, right? So we need to now update this a to 3a, right? So what we will do, we will just store the count, which is 3, and the previous character what I minus 1, because the current character is b, so we need to insert the previous character, so that is a. So that becomes answer equals to 3a. Now I need to update the count because a's character count is over, the count will be 1. Now again we move to c. C is not equals to b, so we need to insert the previous character, which is b. So we will insert this with count is equals to 1b. Now same goes to c. C counted is equals to this, so count will becomes now 2. Now after that loop is over now, right? And c is still left to be inserted in answer. So answer is stored 2 plus c, which is 2c. So answer you get is 3a plus 1b plus 2c. This is how we solve this question. Let's just run this and let's see if we have made any compilation error. Yes, we have made. This plus and this equals to is not, is a, we have a space in between, which is wrong, right? So this needs to be right like this. Same goes for here, and this will work fine. Let's see this. Yeah, we have passed all test cases, sample test case. Let's submit it. Yeah, we have passed all the test cases. So if you see that we have successfully passed all the test cases, so basically just an implementation question, and the follow-up question is that the at most 9 times problem, at most 9 times is removed, right? Then how will you store that, right? So if you see that the time complexity and the space complexity of this problem is of course O of n, which is the size of a string, and the space complexity. So if you consider the answer, if you consider the space complexity for answer as an extra string, so that is also O of, can be O of n or O of 2n, but we will not consider in general the answer string, so that is O of n, O of 1 or O of n, depends on, consider you depends, do you consider, if you consider the answer string as an extra space or not, right? Extra space or not. Generally we don't consider this. So this is how we solve this question. Hope you understand it.